August 2020, Indonesia's foreign exchange reserves break all-time high. To increase capital structure, Tiga Pilar will conduct private placement. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Clara Antawijaya, and this is Market Headlines. And yes, viewers, we're going to start market headlines with a news coverage regarding Indonesia's foreign exchange reserves rose by $1.9 billion to be in the positions of $137 billion in August. This record high mainly due to government foreign borrowing, tax collections, and proceeds from oil and gas.
According to the central bank statement, August reserves level would allow paying for 9.4 months of imports. It can be translated as well that the number is above the international adequacy standard for about 3 months import. The end August 2020 amount was record high, surpassing the previous record of $135.1 billion reserves in July 2020. Central bank assessed that the foreign exchange reserves are capable of supporting the resilience of external factors and also maintaining macroeconomics and also financial system stability. In the future, the central bank is confident that the foreign exchange will remain adequate, supported by maintained economic stability and prospects, along with various policy responses to promote economic recovery. From all sources, IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, Migrant Worker Protections and Placement Agency, along with Angkasa Pura II, has agreed to special line facility at airport for Indonesia's migrant workers. This is in hand with the migrant workers' capability to post more than 159 trillion rupiah remittance to the country.
Angkasa Pura II and the Migrant Workers Protections and Placement Agency has signed MOU regarding services for the departure and return of Indonesian migrant workers. President Director of Angkasa Pura II, Muhammad Awaludin, stated that Indonesian migrant workers will be facilitated by a special line from the beginning of the departure until the immigrations area. And this will be conducted by the end of September 2020.
Kita akan mulai dengan satu-satu, jadi kita akan nanti yang paling cepat kita bisa lakukan. Salah satu misalnya katakanlah untuk special lane, jalur khusus. Jalur khusus itu adalah jalur sejak mereka keluar dari pesawat. Jadi akan ada pengalokasian rute di samping rute yang bisa disebut dengan rute bersama, kepulangan atau kedatangan dari para penumpang, dan lebih khusus lagi nanti di area imigrasi. Jadi di area imigrasi itu jadi special lane itu biasa dilakukan.
Special facility that will be provided in the form of special VIP arrival, the border roads, launch for the rest area, and information center. It will be definitely diverse Indonesian migrant workers with general passengers. From Jakarta, Rikan Wardi for IDX Channel.
Moving on to another coverage, Directorate General of Taxes and Holding of State-Owned Mining Companies have signed an MOU on the integrations of tax data. This aims to encourage improvement in tax governance and reporting in state-owned enterprises environment in the future.
The Directorate General of Taxes and Mining Industry Indonesia, or MINE-ID, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on the integration of tax data. This marks a new chapter of tax compliance of 5 SOE in the mining sector, namely Antam, Bukit Asam, Freeport Indonesia, Inalum, and Timah. Director General of Taxes Suryo Utomo explained that this cooperation is a continuation of the joint program of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises to improve state-owned corporate governance, especially in terms of tax transparency. Data integration is also part of a cooperation-based compliance strategy, which emphasizes synergy and efforts with the authorities and taxpayers to provide mutually beneficial benefits for both parties.
Ultimately, bagaimana kita memudahkan, mengurangi risiko, dan memberikan manfaat. Nah, ini yang tadi saya coba summary dari beberapa yang disampaikan oleh Pak Auria, sebetulnya kita dalam satu frekuensi. Lebih gedenya lagi adalah transparansi. Kalau sudah transparan, masa kita mau ngapa-ngapain kan gitu kan, nggak mungkin juga. Semuanya sudah ada di atas meja.
With the existence of data integration, the Directorate General of Taxes can carry out research and compliance testing electronically. This is expected to reduce administrative burden related to audits and also the potential for objections and appeals. From Jakarta, Fajar Wayong for IDX Channel.
Still regarding tax data integrations, holding of Indonesian state-owned mining companies or MINE-ID hopes the Directorate General of Taxes can continue to inform and disseminate various tax incentives after both institutions cooperate in tax data integration.
Mining Industry Indonesia or MINE-ID hopes that the cooperation of tax data integration with the Directorate General of Taxes will be able to encourage the realization of better tax incentives. CEO of Mining Industry Indonesia or MINE-ID, Orias Mudak, hopes that tax incentives can be more felt. Orias said that his party is very open in welcoming these incentives because it will help state-owned companies. With tax incentives that are being intensified by the government, the state-owned company hopes that the various tax breaks provided by the government will be able to maintain company resilience in these hard times.
Berharap ada insentif-insentif, Pak. Kalau ada insentif pajak, kita mau kita juga diikut sertakan, Pak. Jadi apapun juga yang namanya insentif dari perpajakan, sebagai perusahaan kami tetap sangat terbuka dan menyambut hal insentif tersebut karena itu akan membantu kami.
In the same time, the Director General of Taxes ensures that with the integration of tax data, the incentives that will be provided include the lack of audits. Besides other indirect incentives is the efficient use of human resources that can ease the company's operational burden. From Jakarta, Fajar Wayong for IDX Channel.
Stay tuned on market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Nama saya Devisa Novel, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Session Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market.
I'm associate producer and news presenter on Market Headlines. As Market Headlines starts at 4:30 p.m. with the closing market, therefore we summarize market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion. Welcome back to Market Headlines. According to the central bank, as many as 4.5 million small, medium enterprises merchants are using digital payment system standardizations or quick response code Indonesia standard, as per data collected as of latest August 2020.
Central Bank remarked extraordinary increase on quick response code Indonesian standard users. Filianingsih Hendarta, as head of Central Bank Payment System Policy Department, stated that Central Bank noted number jumped significantly by 370% from the initial 1,170 merchants. According to Hendarta, of the 4.5 million traders, as many as 85% of the 3.8 million people are micro and small entrepreneurs who have made a digital switch. Kris volume and transactions have also increased, with 9.59 million transactions worth 707.6 billion rupiah, recorded until July 2020, less than a year since it was first launched. Currently, Kris has an innovations that combines chat and video streaming applications to expand the opportunities for conventional traders to trade directly like online traders. The digital payment system services can be used either face-to-face between buyers and merchants by scanning barcodes for payments, or without the face-to-face facility, with merchants sending barcodes via applications messages. As a part of the next stage, Central Bank had talks with the central banks of Thailand and Malaysia, and there has been interest from India, Japan, and Saudi Arabia so that a similar state-owned system could be implemented in Indonesia. From all sources for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewer, when we talk about digital payment system standardizations, here it is, Indonesia, we have QRIS, or Quick Response Code Indonesia Standard. So long story short, Indonesia has followed the footsteps of Central Bank of India, Thailand, and also Malaysia to have invented a payment service that allow users to make a payment system or a transfer fund from one platform to another platform by within the central bank ecosystem. So here it is right now, live via Zoom. We are going to have further discussions about that with Gedung Mahartapa as a fintech practitioner and also a member of Indonesia Fintech Associations. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, Clara. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Mine is very good. Thank you for asking, sir. Sir, as I know that you are a fintech practitioner, I'm very aware that you are really get used to with the term of QRIS, QR code, and etc. And let's make a deal in here, as we are in the situations that are really debatable right now. Is it QRIS or CRIS? How can we pronounce it?
We agree that we're going to pronounce as CRIS, not QRIS or other else.
All right, so is it settled, right? It's CRIS in Indonesia.
Not even CRIS.
It's CRIS with K-R-I-S. All right, sir. It's settled then. Right. Yes, it's quite debatable. So regarding about CRIS in here, we know that CRIS is a new breakthrough from Central Bank and it's currently applied in Indonesia. So what is actually your opinion about CRIS? What is actually CRIS itself in your definition?
Yeah, we realize that not many people really know about CRIS now because we have facing a pandemic right now in Bank Indonesia and all of the stakeholders. We call it penyelenggara jasa sistem pembayaran, or we can say payment service provider. We are all together to promote the universal, standardized, interoperability payment methods. So this is all about CRIS. CRIS is not really a new payment system. CRIS is not an application. It is a standardized way to pay, where all of the payment providers are joining together to do the interoperability. The objective is to do the financial inclusions to everyone, to small medium enterprise, and building cashless society faster for Indonesian for Indonesian development. That's the objective of KRIS. Of course, all the stakeholders are doing together, including Bank Central, that they initiate this project.
All right, sir. When we talk about financial inclusions, of course, Central Bank wants so many merchants to use QR code in this term as KRIS, as a quick response code Indonesia standard.
Yeah.
So how can these merchants can join to use KRIS itself?
Yeah, it's even easier now. Everyone can have their own merchants. I mean, they have their own interest to sell their goods or services. Right now, even with KRIS, everyone can be a merchant. It's easier to register to one of the payment service provider, either from the banks or from fintech, which is from mobile banking or through e-money. Yeah. Every provider, they have their own way to register, and even now it's easier to get that.
All right, sir. As you are a practitioner of fintech itself, how can you get the code?
Once you register as a merchant, as an account merchant, then you will get either static QR code or dynamic QR code. It depends on your need. Whether you need ADC to generate the codes, or it's just as simple as just putting your sticker on your area, probably on the in the cashier area, or even in for small and medium enterprise, we can put that in the on the glasses or whatever, right?
Sure, it's interesting because it's really easy to apply about the KRIS itself. And I want to know, KRIS has been delivered by Central Bank with the terms that by January 1st, 2020, all merchants should pay with this standardizations code. So does this make any difficulties for some merchants for applying KRIS itself?
I don't think so, because it's actually amazing that that merchants is actually encouraging to register the KRIS, because they know that that with KRIS they can accept everyone, not only one or two payment service provider. So it is also interesting for them to connect, to provide this kind of methods. And also we promote this KRIS as one of the standardized health protocol in this pandemic. So it is also one of the encouragement for them to install KRIS into their businesses.
All right, sir. When we talk about you as the CEO of a company that runs in financial technology, what benefits your company can gain from this KRIS implementation?
Yes, that's true. There are a lot of opportunities that we can get as a fintech, since KRIS has been implemented for all. So that means that we have another business opportunity, which is to acquire the merchants. We have the same level field opportunity to acquire the merchants. Not only big players, small player also can do acquisition of the merchants. This is also a good thing for Indonesia, because with this method, everyone can be a merchant, can get connected to a digital financial.
Yeah, so we can call it as a one single window only, right?
Right. So that's very effective. This is a big move, and I'm happy that we are going through this step now.
it is a really game changer as from your elaborations back then. But when we talk about security aspect, we know that cyber attacks is everywhere. It's happening right now because security aspect is one of the crucial things right now. How safe it is to use Chris as a payment method nowadays?
Okay, every payment service provider has to go through some kind of compliance and requirements conducted by the associations, Association of Sistem Pembayaran Indonesia, ASPI, Association of Payment Service Provider in English. And then we have to go through by auditing, audited by the external auditor. Then also from the perspective of the standardizations, we are using AMP standard messaging. Then also all of these things have to be verified and done due diligence by the Bank Central. Not every payment service provider automatically eligible to join with Chris. So it has to be go through this kind of steps.
All right, sir. So when we talk about central bank in here, is there any incentives from merchants for using QR code from the government? Let's say central bank in this case.
Yes. Recently, due to pandemic, we as a payment service provider association and also the Bank Central agree that we give merchants mainly for small for micro merchants incentive, which is from the 1st of April until the 30th of September, we waive the MDR to become 0%.
All right, sir. It's really interesting how Chris can be a game changer in our society. When we talk about our society, it's digital transformations in Indonesia economy. Sir, thank you for your time with us.
You're welcome.
Yes, your explanation is really well explained, and we hope nothing but the best for Chris in the future and also more innovations in digital transformations in Indonesia. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome, Clara.
And yes, viewers, stay tuned to Market Headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi, cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Senang sekali saya David San Oval dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Spesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. Metal mining company Merdeka Copper Gold will issue bonds of 300 billion rupiah to fund working capitals of its subsidiary Batu Tua Karisma Permai.
In the official information's disclosure, management of Merdeka Copper Gold stated that the proceeds from the bonds, after deducting the issuance cost, will be used by the company and its subsidiaries as a working capital. The management explained that the company will issue sustainable bonds, Merdeka Copper Gold Phase 2, year 2020, with a principal amount of 300 billion rupiah. The bond consists of two series, namely Series A, worth 149 billion rupiah, with a coupon of 8.25%, which will due on September 2021, and a Series B, worth 151 billion rupiah, with a coupon of 10.25%, and will be matured on September 2023. And yes, viewers, step aside from the market conditions as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on our current economic situations. Here is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the graphic close of market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic business and capital market channel. I'm Clara Antawijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi, cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.